What's up?
Hey everyone. No one's in here yet, but it's all good. We here. Hello. Welcome to stream. This is Martin, for y'all who don't know. Martin Kim.
What's up?
Partner in crime from MSG.
Wait, it's not showing up on
No, it's not.
Yeah. You sure?
That's what we do. We said we start streaming and then it works.
That is usually how it works. Let's see. I just restarted my app. Oh, yep, we're good.
Hey, we're good. What's up, everybody? We're MSG, My Sweet Grandma, coming at you for our grand opening. What's up, Neo? I know that's you, Martin. It's okay. Welcome. Quick intro, since this is our grand opening stream. We're starting.
Wait, just wait oh, it's this. Let's just hang out for a bit.
Yeah,
for people to
we
come
can
in.
hang out.
Yeah.
I can do some stuff.
Oh, Henry's on.
Hey, what's up, Henry? Hey, y'all. What's up? What's good? I know people are coming in. We're just going to get some stuff settled, but we're making pupusas today.
What's a pupusa?
A pupusa is a Salvadorian dish. It's like a masa cake. You know, they take masa and they stuff it with a filling. So today we're doing it with chicharron, which we had from last stream, our soft opening stream on Thursday, where we rendered pork fat, and then we're left over with these beautiful chicharrones. Right
They're
here.
so crunchy.
They're super
Delicious.
crunchy.
Wait, quick ASMR stream for the fans.
ASMR. Oh.
That also works.
And then.
Oh my god, you're getting it everywhere. Big shout outs to my boy Gio for showing me pupusas. I miss you, bud.
Pupusas. So a little quickly about us for our grand opening. We are My Sweet Grandma, MSG Kitchen. We started out doing food events, little pop-up events, a few years ago, three years ago now, and had a bunch of fun doing that. And since then, we've been trying to do events more, but given the pandemic, of course, now we're doing some socially distanced and safe food content for y'all. So we decided to do a Twitch stream. But this project has been dedicated to not just my grandmother, but all of our grandmothers, because they are our food figures in our lives, and we want to make sure that we're paying homage to them, but also understand that, no, I am not my grandma. I didn't grow up in the same generation or in the same culture as my grandmother, but I am well informed by my grandmother and by grandmother's cooking. So we're trying to pay homage to that and really translate that into the food world. Translate all of that into something for y'all to watch.
I feel like we're gonna have to do this again in like 10 minutes.
Yeah, it's fine. We'll do it.
We do have a couple people in the stream.
Yeah,
so
what's
now
up,
is a good
Erica?
time to announce our sponsor today,
Jarritos.
Jarritos. Please sponsor us.
I need to open this. So, what do you think, Mark? Should we just get started first, or like start doing some things? All right. So I'm just starting out some things. We're gonna, like I said, we're making pupusas, but along with pupusas, we're making this. Usually it's accompanied with this slaw of cabbage and carrots, so we'll do that as well. This is cumin seeds. I'm gonna be toasting cumin seeds for both the pupusa flavoring and the slaw flavoring. So I like buying whole spices and toasting them in the pan here. Something that's very like Indian, very I think that's what really sets apart like Indian cuisine from other cuisines, is that they really know how to toast their spices well, and they do it for almost every dish, right? So when we come over here, we have our overhead cam. You don't need too much cumin, but I'll do like a couple pinches. And then we're gonna grind this.
It's frozen.
The stream's frozen on your app?
It might just be mine.
Okay.
I don't see anyone complaining about it.
Yeah, let us know. What's up, Jamie? How's it going? How's it going,
Yeah,
Jamie?
it's on my phone. Yeah.
Alright, we're toasting cumin seeds. Again, we don't need too much because we're not making too much. But we're going to toast these. Actually, I want a tiny bit more. Another pinch. We're going to dry roast these. This will activate the aromas in here. So all spices have like oils in them, right? Essential oils. And you need to activate them in order to get the full aroma and flavor out of them. So you're really just looking until you can smell them, so until it perfumes the air, and that's how you know, right? And then, like I said, we have some chicharrones, but I'll do that in a second. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna grab cabbage and carrots out of the fridge and I'm gonna shred some cabbage and carrots just for want to do mine? Oh, I'll put these up here.
Yeah.
Shred some cabbage and carrots for the slaw, because the slaw has to sit for about recommended about 3 hours, but we'll just make it first and then see where it is by the time we're done with the pupusas. So we're making all pupusas from scratch. So I'm gonna make the masa dough. We're gonna make the filling. Really do it all. It's really quite simple, I would say. So don't be scared for making these things. I know a lot of people get scared about making foods that they're not familiar with. I will say this is my first time making pupusa, so we'll see how it goes. But I'm pretty confident in myself, and I think y'all can make it too if you're interested. So I have about yay much cabbage, and I'm just gonna shred it thinly and then give it a quick rinse. And then you see up front here, these are everything that's going into the salsa. So I have chili serrano, that's these thin ones. They're a little spicier. Then chili poblano, which are these big ones. These are super tasty, not spicy at all. Then tomatoes, a lemon, just I had it left over, and then a lime. Take out some of these dirtier pieces. I almost forgot about my cumin, but I heard it. So what I heard was popping sounds, and that's a good indication as well. So just took out my cumin. I'm gonna put it onto this tray, this dish here, just so it doesn't burn. Yeah, it smells great. And then we'll grind these. So I guess you can see it from here. See how they're slightly darker? I don't know if you can tell, but they're slightly darker than the original. And that's exactly what we're looking for. What's up, Josh? How's it going? Hey, everyone. Nice to see y'all. We're making pupusas today, like we said.
What's up?
We're doing pupusas full of chicharron and some salsa that we'll make from scratch, and a little bit of cheese. So I bought this quesilla cheese. It's like a shreddy cheese. Shreddy Mexican cheese, but I'm also going to mix it with some Swiss because I just have Swiss in my fridge. And hopefully it'll be good. First time making pupusas. Again, I want to just quickly shout out, since this is our grand opening stream, for those of you who don't know in chat. MSG, or it stands for My Sweet Grandma, which is a food venture that Martin and I had started a few years back, three, almost 4 years now back. And we started out doing food events, little pop-up parties. Where we would really just host a party and get super lit with our friends. Cook a bunch, make a big feast, and do some drunchies, and it was just a way for us to all have fun, and spend a night out while also staying in and staying safe. But since then, we've done a few events here and there. But since the pandemic started, we haven't been able to do events very often, of course. So instead, we're switching over to Twitch as our main platform to help spread the love of food, spread the love of cooking, and really try to show what cooking can be like without following a recipe, right? Because I think for me, when I learned how to cook, I never followed a recipe book. I think whenever I followed a recipe book, nothing ever really tasted how I wanted it to taste, and nothing really tasted how I imagined it to taste. So, and then I realized that I wasn't actually learning following a recipe. It's a lot I always make this comparison of it's like learning your neighborhood, learning how to drive around your neighborhood just by following your GPS directions, right? Which isn't necessarily the best way to learn directionally your neighborhood, if you're not familiar with all the turns and the way the roads go and whatnot. Even just in your state, I grew up in New Jersey, And like New Jersey is a pain in the ass sometimes driving on the highways.
Oh yeah.
So if you really don't know like where you're going, the GPS can kind of like mess with you. So it's the exact same thing, you know. This is
Yo, big shouts to growing up, learning to drive with a map.
yeah, right.
Shout out to
MapQuest.
my dad. Yeah, printing out the directions on MapQuest. Classic. Also, just wanted to say that we're trying to. This is all very new for us, and we're excited, but we're also not really sure what we're doing. So feedback is obviously appreciated,
Always.
and also interaction. So if we get big enough to be able to run like polls and like whatever ways to you like donations to make Sean do stupid things live on stream, which would be very welcome. We're gonna try to figure out how to do all those things eventually, but we do want to make this very interactive and fun.
Yeah.
Not just. I mean, it's also going to be serious, and we're going to talk about some important topics.
Yeah.
And really try to get at some, identity things around food and culture, what it means to be Asian American, that kind of stuff. But we also want to goof around, have a good time. So.
Learn and have fun.
At the same time,
Despite what
of
they
course.
told you in school.
What do you mean? I had so much fun in school.
Did you? Was it the school that made you
Shout
have
outs
fun?
to Bridgewater.
Yeah, no. So, I mean, with that said, if y'all can give us a follow, that'll help us get Twitch affiliate faster.
Ooh, Sean is already shameless asking for the follows.
Please give us a follow.
Please follow.
So, because we have big plans in store for May for Heritage Month, and we really want to make sure that that's like ready and really important. It's really important for us. So I'm just peeling carrots right now. I'm gonna shred some carrots by hand.
Oh, this thing is not scrolling. That's fuck.
Oops. All right. So I also got these carrots, by the way. I got a lot of my produce from Misfits Market, which I will also plug. Not sponsored by them, but I like things like Misfits Market. Doesn't have to be exactly Misfits Market, but the idea of buying produce that other people don't want, or like that is unsellable. Other people don't want, or like that is unsellable. Other people don't want, or like that is unsellable. Other people don't want, or like that is unsellable. Other people don't want, or like that is unsellable. Other people don't want, or like that is unsellable. Other people don't want, or like that is unsellable. Other people don't want, or like that is unsellable. Other people don't want, or like that is unsellable. Other people don't want, or like that is unsellable. Other people don't want, or like that is unsellable. Other people don't want, or like that is like you can do like a box grater and shred them. Totally fine. I don't own a box grater, so I have to do it this way. Eventually, I hope I will own a box grater.
Is this better? I don't really know.
Echoing.
Yeah.
That's unfortunate.
That's on me. That's on me, chat. But someone let me know if I fixed it.
Alright, so we don't need that many carrots. This isn't a carrot slaw, it's a mostly cabbage slaw. A carrot is just there to add a little bit of sweetness, a little bit of extra texture, and some color, most importantly. Yeah, and then we're gonna add a little bit of serrano because Martin and I both like things hot, even though Martin can definitely handle this heat better than I can.
Let me get some love in the chat if you like hurting yourself with spicy things. 'Cause I know I do.
Man, it has to be tasty though. Please give us some hearts. Press 1 in chat if you're a spice head like Martin. So I wanted to do this dish, pupusas, because one, I wanted to challenge myself. I had never made pupusas. I live in this neighborhood called Sunset Park in Brooklyn, and there's a large Latinx community, mostly Mexican community, but pupusas are a Salvadorian dish. And I bought a bunch of maseca, which is the masa flour, basically. So maseca, before, traditionally, they would have to do this process called nixtamalization, which basically prepares the corn so that it's usable for masa flour, so for tortillas. And it's this kind of like arduous process of like curing and preparing the corn kernels, usually with a chemical additive to help. It really helps like break down the corn. Helps also break down those like that outer husk of it. And gets it ready for like a powder. So this is what I have here. I think I'm gonna do one more carrot just because the ratio is a little off, and then this carrot is also a little thin. So actually, I'll do 2 more. I'll do these 2 small ones. If you're wondering what to use with carrot tops, by the way, you don't have to throw them away. You can do the simplest thing: throw them in a stock. Otherwise, I love when I'm about making pickles. At home, I'll throw in like carrot tops or what's it called, herb stems, things like that into the actual brine, into the vinegar, and that will not only help keep all the vegetables submerged, because when you're making pickles, you need to keep all that submerged so that you're not gaining, so none of the vegetables are coming in contact with air. Air when you're pickling things is going to generate bacteria. Mirepoix for the window. It's true. Hey, I mean, do you like mirepoix or do you like? It's funny that you mentioned that. So mirepoix is French, right? You have your onion, carrot, celery, and it's a very French base, right? But the idea of like having a trio of these like aromatic soup bases is you see that everywhere. You see that everywhere across like every cuisine, right? In China, it's our mirepoix, our trinity is scallion, ginger, and garlic usually. Sometimes no garlic, depends on the dish. But that's like what we use in China. In Cajun country, they use bell peppers instead of celery. In like Indian cuisine, it's ginger garlic paste, right? So it's ginger and garlic for the most part, to use for your base foundation flavors, and those base foundation flavors are really what's going to like start the flavor components of your dish. And I think mirepoix is particularly interesting because everyone knows mirepoix, right? Mirepoix is so like every chef you've seen on TV has like called out mirepoix as like their foundational flavors for their cooking. But why is that, right? And you'll think about like, okay, well, most of the chefs that maybe you're watching are white chefs or were traditionally trained. And by traditionally trained, we mean French trained, and note the language there, right? When it means to be traditionally trained or classically trained, I should say, that means French cuisine. That means trained in French cuisine. And yeah, there's history on it, on like why that is considered classical. But like let's just pay attention to the language that we use here. Like why do we call that classical cooking and versus not, versus non-classical cooking? And what does that do to a cuisine? What does that do to both its perception of it or even its price point, right? So just things to keep in mind. Things I think about when I cook that helps me be a little bit more informed in the decisions that I make when I choose to buy ingredients or choose to buy, what kind of foods I want to eat. And how much money I'm willing to spend on certain foods. Alright, so these are just loosely shredded. Right, this should be good enough. So these are my carrots and cabbage. I'm going to mix them into this bowl with just a little bit of vinegar. Some cumin, which we'll crush up in just a second, and oregano, and some salt. So I've seen recipes use like white vinegar. I've seen some use like apple cider vinegar. I'm gonna use a mixture of coconut vinegar and rice vinegar because that's why I have at home. Totally can use any vinegar that you want, but that's what I have. I'm almost gonna throw a little bit of lemon and lime juice in this too, so we'll do that first since it's right here. If your lemons or limes are a little tough, just give them like a roll on the cutting board. Or what I do sometimes if they're really hard is I'll throw them in the microwave for about like 10 seconds, and that'll loosen them up. So like these limes I just got them today from Amy's. Amy's is a local grocery store around here, which I love. Partially because they're open 24 hours, and their meat counter is also open 24 hours. So, you know, after a night of drinking or a night of debauchery, I can come back here. If I find that my fridge is empty, I can just go to Amy's and buy some food and cook later on. So I think that's amazing. I very rarely do I see grocery stores open like that especially with the meat counter, 24 hours. And it's a great grocery store. All right, so let me pick out my seeds. Right, nice. I might add the lime in here. I gotta taste it first. But first, let's bring out our spice wine grinder. Actually, I'll use a mortar and pestle for this. So I have 2 mortar and pestles here. Nice. I didn't even know that was. That was the mic. Yeah. Sorry, y'all. Sorry that was.
Where did you
rip headphone
do that?
users? I think it just fell. It wasn't.
Yeah, that's a big rip, boys.
Rip. Sorry, rip headphone users.
Please don't sue us.
Sorry for damaging your eardrums. I feel like ginger and garlic is the best. Dude, it's also cut out.
I know.
The best. I'm gonna read the best with Chinese dishes. Maybe I did say coconut vinegar. I did indeed say coconut vinegar. Coconut vinegar is used mostly in Filipino cuisine. Filipino cuisine is one of my favorite cuisines. So I have 2 mortar and pestles here. This one here is called a molcajete. It's a Mexican mortar and pestle, and I like this because it's made out of stone here. And it's a little rougher, which allows me to grind things up a little more finely. And then I have this mortar and pestle, which is probably what you're used to. This will also work just fine. I like this to more like crush or like mash things, make pulps because it's wider, or it's taller, I should say. So I'm going to use the molcajete to grind my cumin seeds. Go. And this is my pestle.
Do you know smashing first, please?
What was what? Alright. So now I have some ground cumin. Just grind it out really quickly. Very easy to grind, and a molcajete. It's also just fun to say, molcajete.
Oh shit! It's Senza!
Hey, what's up, Senza? Shout outs to Senza. So over here, this is my ground cumin.
Oh, it smells amazing, so right? Good. Oh my god.
It smells great. You won't get this smell from like pre-ground stuff. So I highly recommend using fresh stuff, toasting it yourself, and then grinding it. I swear, if you go to any Indian household, that's what they're doing, and that's why Indian food tastes so amazing, so bomb with their spices, because they're doing this. They're taking the care to do this, and that's love, right? That's cooking with love. That's what cooking with love means, is putting in that extra attention to detail to make things delicious for the people that you're feeding, right? I've always said that if you cook with love, your food is going to be delicious, and if your food is not delicious, it means you didn't love it enough.
Just calling people out now.
Truly. Right. Give that a second.
This will just be in the shot. It's cool.
No worries. It's just our mic. People know what a mic is. Alright, so I have that. I'm gonna open up some Mexican oregano as well. I also prefer Mexican oregano over like a Italian oregano. I find Mexican oregano a little bit more grassy in flavor, which I like, because I like those strong, big, bold flavors. that you get, but you can use any kind of oregano here. I would suggest you getting Mexican oregano if you can. So do like a pinch of Mexican oregano. Dried oregano is always going to be stronger. Is always really strong, so I don't use too much of it. And then I just need some salt. Salt, and I'll grab my coconut vinegars. So about a pinch, 2 pinches of salt, and then I will grab my vinegars over here. Alright, so I have coconut vinegar. That's this guy here. I love coconut vinegar. It's a little acidic, but it's a great flavor. It's slightly sweet, but not as sweet I find as rice vinegar. Rice vinegar I do find a little sweeter. So I'm just gonna kill my bottle for this. I didn't have that much left. What I'm looking for, I don't measure anything. So what I look for is that I'll like taste things as I go, and I personally also think that's also cooking with love, because you're constantly testing out, trying out the food, making sure that like it tastes how you want to taste it. It tastes how you want other people who are tasting this and eating this to taste it. Yeah, truly, Senza, can we play your music on stream? Because your music is freaking lit. For those of you who don't know, Official Senza is a DJ out in California. They're doing some really cool stuff in that space and like making some incredible music. Martin and I have actually known Senza since high school, so it's really incredible to see all of our journeys together. If it quite fits my vibe, true. Alright, so I just added coconut vinegar. It's a lot of vinegar in here already. You see like the pool on the bottom. That's all juice, right? So that's fine. And then I'm gonna taste this, see where it stands, and then cut up a serrano or two to add in here for some spice. And maybe add some rice vinegar if I need it. Alright, so we'll give this a quick taste. It smells great already. Yeah, that's good. I like that. I think it's enough vinegar. So I'm gonna add just a little bit of serrano, chili serrano. You can de-seed this if you want, if you don't like it too spicy. I will keep it seeded in because I know Martin likes it spicy.
Hell yeah!
You can also use gloves here if you're scared about, touching your face or anywhere after you're handling chilies.
Oh yeah, definitely don't do that.
Yeah. Don't go to the bathroom after this.
Wait, are these for us?
Which one? They can be. They can be for us. Martin's talking about my favorite beer.
Wait, hold on. Before we do that, is it too early to? Nah. Yo, let us know in chat if you want to see Sean be slightly less sober now.
It's true. Yeah, we have the means if we're trying to be a PG-13 stream. I guess R stream, M stream. But he's just talking. I just bought some Modelo Negras, which are my favorite beer currently. I love Modelo Negra. They have the flavor and richness of like a kind of like a dark beer, but it's still light and refreshing like a lager. So I love that about it.
This portion of the stream is sponsored by Modelo. Please sponsor us, Modelo.
Please.
PG-13 became TV-17.
So,
wait, are people not allowed to consume alcohol in a PG? No, that's not true. No, super bad is PG-13. Get out of here.
Super bad is PG-13. Yeah,
it absolutely is.
Crazy. I'm gonna add a little bit more salt because I think it does need a little salt in this, a little extra salt. And the vinegar is fine. Like I said, the acid content is fine because we did add that lemon juice in there. And now we're gonna put this into a container.
Here's what we'll do. We'll wait until I want at least one person in chat gets themselves a drink of some sort, and we'll drink with you. How about that?
There we go.
So
Come back.
posterized. Maybe you want to go grab a beer.
Is there gonna be
A
a
mukbang
mukbang after? Yeah. Once we cook it all. This is gonna be a somewhat longer stream because we're making everything from scratch. So this is quite a process, but that's what Sundays are for, right? You know, your Sunday dinner at grandma's. This is what grandma's doing all day for you. So always remember to call your grandma.
Definitely call your grandma.
Call your grandma after stream. Tell her you love her. Ask her for the recipe of your favorite dish. I promise you, she won't give it to you in the same way that she makes it, but you can try. All right, so this is going in the fridge, just like this, and you know what? Actually, it wasn't even that spicy, so I'm gonna add another chili serrano.
That's right. Don't be weak.
So I'm gonna add another chili serrano, and then I'll cut it from there.
Oh, Superbad is rated R.
Martin's spitting out fake news.
What's an example? There's got to be an example of a loud one F-bomb PG-13 movie where they drink alcohol. Oh, Accepted. They definitely drink alcohol in Accepted. So much alcohol. That was the one where Justin Long, the I'm a Mac, I'm a PC guy, starts his own college. Where they do nothing. And there was definitely alcohol imbibed in that movie, and it's definitely PG-13.
So the serranos I'm just kind of chopping finely so that we don't have to bite into like a big serrano piece. I know Martin would love that. I would not love that. And I need to eat this too. so I will not do that. But
actually, a good way to deal with having a discrepancy of your ability to consume spice levels is that you can cook either, let's say, in the middle or just match it to the weaker person, and then you can always add hot sauce on top afterwards.
True.
Or chili oils.
True.
Which we may or may not be producing as MSG.
Yeah.
As we speak. So
keep an eye out for
shameless early self-plug. Might be selling chili oil and or hot sauces at some point.
And they're delicious. If any of you have had our chili oils or hot sauces before, you know that they are quite lit. Alright, I just got this plastic wrap, so bear with me for a second as I open it. I'm just destroying this thing, but it's okay. Alright. So I have my plastic wrap here. I'm just gonna cover this and put it in the fridge. And let this hang out until we're ready for it.
Dude, I actually wish I owned some of these.
These?
Like
Yeah.
the restaurant.
These like little tins. They're nice because they're stackable. Alright, throw this in the fridge. We just had a hot pot last night, so my fridge is currently a mess, but that's also okay. Alright. Now what we're gonna do is we're gonna make a salsa. I'm gonna make a fresh salsa from scratch. So I have in here a food processor, which I'll be using for the salsa.
It's gonna be super loud.
Oh, is it? Yeah, it's right by the
Really
thing.
close to the Is there another place you can plug?
Not close by.
Rip.
Yeah, unfortunately. Oh, actually, that's not true. If you follow this tan line, this tan cord, you can unplug what's ever plugged in there, and I'll do it over here.
What, right there?
No, you see the one on the floor? It's like a brown one.
Oh, this
Yep.
See all the things I do for you, chat, to not destroy your ears?
We're looking out for you. Destroy your ears, not with food, but with what sends us music. That's
true. That's an approved way to destroy your ears. Okay, I think you should be set.
The mighty legacy. Sorry for the hot pot. No worries, dude. No worries. The hot pot was well worth it. Well worth the all the fridge space that I am utilizing for it. Alright, so I'm gonna do one tomato because my food process is a little small, so I'm gonna do this in batches. And I'm just helping out my food process a little bit because, you know, my food process needs a little help too. Not the strongest thing, not the biggest thing.
That's so thoughtful of you.
I know, right? You're welcome, food processor. And then we'll add another chili here. Just cut this to see it. See the food processor?
Oh wow, yeah, this is just super wide.
Yep. I have all my scraps. These will stay here for now. I'm not gonna throw away any of this stuff. And then what I'll do is I'm gonna roast these poblanos just over the stovetop. So I'm gonna roast 2 of them for now. And what we want is for these to be like black.
Hey, we get to use the B cam. See how that looks.
And then I'm gonna add a lime to the salsa as well.
Oh yeah, I hear it. It's crackling.
These limes I got were super hard, so there's not too much juice in there. I actually might supplement this with a little bit of rice vinegar. And then to just throw in our own MSG flair, we're gonna put in a little bit of fish sauce too because I like fish sauce. And I think fish sauce works great with chicharron. There are many dishes in Thailand that use, and Vietnam, that use pork skin like this, fried pork. So to me, it makes sense. Alright, we'll start with this. We'll start with this much, that much. Okay, yeah, so you see it's blistering. That's exactly what we want. We want this to be black. And you can smell it too. If you were here, you'd be able to smell it too. All the roasted chilies in the air. All right, so chop these up. Another bowl. A lot of people also ask me how do I keep track of things, you know, as I'm cooking. I feel like a lot of people are like, oh my god, how do you manage like 18 different tasks all at once? But y'all do that anyways on a daily basis, you know. Cooking isn't much different from that. If you're able to multitask in life, then you can do this too.
There's gotta be people who can't multitask in life.
Yeah, rip to those guys, but or guys or gals, non-binary pals, as Kenji J Lopez likes to say. All right, so I just blended up some of those chilies. I'm gonna do the rest of these tomatoes, and maybe a couple more serranos, and I'm gonna throw in also a red onion in there as well. And then what we're gonna do is we'll cook them. We'll cook down the salsa so it has more cooked flavor to it, which is what we want for this recipe. Yo, what's up, Monkey Link? What's good? What's good? We're making pupusas today. Oh, Martin, something that we should do is figure out how to use bots.
Yeah.
Because I have no idea how to use bots. Anyone know how to use bots? I am practically a grandma, so.
I am a bot. I am the bot today.
I am technically, I'm basically a grandma, so I don't know much about this like technology stuff, but you know, it is what it is. We can rough chop this because the food processor is gonna do most of the work. Now you know what? Actually, I will need another lime. Boom, 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 and then I wanted a red onion as well. So I have red onion.
Nice.
One thing that does help you multitask though is that like you can utilize all of your senses. So like I'm smelling the peppers and that's how I know. Okay, like let me make sure that I'm watching these because like they smell great. They smell great in the air, and we want to make sure they don't smell burnt, which is not a great smell. All right. So I'm gonna do this is like a medium to small size red onion. We'll do that. Cut in quarters.
Do you want me to keep track of your text?
Yeah, 1 second.
Probably people coming over right now.
Yeah, I had some. We have some friends coming over, hopefully.
Your pattern. Yeah. That'll leave us going.
If y'all are in the area, we'll probably have a bunch of pupusas. So if you want to swing by and come eat, feel free. As long as you're safe, please have been COVID tested. And let me know. But otherwise, I can also, if we have extras, I'll drop them off for you. Or you can come by and swing by and, what's it called? Swing by and pick it up if you want. So these limes, like I said, were a little hard. So I'm giving them like a really firm roll on the cutting board. That helps break up some of that meat inside and makes it a little, lets the juices come out a little better. This to here. Yeah, these limes are hella dry. Alright, I think I'm gonna switch over to rice vinegar for this because we do want that acid. What's a salsa without acid, right? Alright, and my peppers are just about done as well. So you see, pretty black, exactly how we want it. Because what we're gonna do is that's actually gonna let us, peel the peppers, peel the skins. And to do that, we just steam it. So you can do this a couple ways. You can wrap it with plastic wrap, which is what I'm gonna do. Just cover it in a bowl, or as long as it's covered, right? That's really the most important part. Make sure that these are covered. Make sure it's covered, and that will steam it, and then that will help separate the skin from the flesh. And then let this sit out for a second. All right. So I about half one of these. I'm gonna do my other tomatoes too, just so I have some leftover salsa if I need it, if I ever want it. Nothing wrong with having salsa. And you know what? When we make the pupusas, that's going to be the most fun part because I'm going to get these guys to help me form them, which should be a lot of fun for them as well.
True.
Alright. Cut a couple more serranos in here. Again, we like it pretty spicy in this household. Now, if you don't own a food processor, you can use a blender. You can also mash this by hand. Hey! Our friend Lena came in here. You want to say hi? Say hi to stream. This is Lena. Lena is a very important member of MSG as well. She helped design our new website,
Look what I did with what you made for us.
Yeah, right?
I made a Twitch over.
Nice.
So Lena's been helping us with our rebranding.
Which is to be launched soon.
To be launched soon, yeah. We'll have a website out pretty soon. All right, so this is all I need. I'm not gonna do any more. It's about half full of this, and now I'm gonna peel my poblanos.
We started at 2, but I've been here since like 12:30.
So,
I should have felt like I've been here.
you see, the skin comes right off. It doesn't need to steam that long. The longer it steams, the easier it will be to peel. But we will skin these just like this. Now you want to skin these because the skin gets a little bitter, especially when you roast it. It's also like harder to digest normally, so and a little fibrous. So we try not to keep that in here because we don't want that in our salsa. All right. All right. Peace out, Mighty Link, Mighty Legacy. How's everyone doing in chat? I didn't ask today, but what's one thing, y'all, that made you smile today? In chat, I'll go. One thing that made me smile today was waking up and seeing my new curtains for the first time. We just hung curtains in this house yesterday with the help of some really good friends, and they are beautiful. They're flowery, which is perfect. Very my vibe. So I'm just gonna cut off the ends here. You don't have to do this, but I will. And then that will let me kind of de-seed these a little bit easier. So now the seeds just kind of come out here. I'm gonna cut it in half. And then you see this, all this has to go out.
Kind of stressed about this.
And then these will go in the blender as well. Don't worry, we'll find another use for some of these scraps too. Like I said, we are a zero waste kitchen here. We try to be. We try to be a zero waste kitchen. All right, so most of these are de-seeded. The seeds, if you have the seeds in there, it sometimes is a little bitter. So we don't like the seeds all the time. Give our process a little bit of head start here. And we're almost, after this is done, we're gonna let this cook on the stove and hang out for a bit while we make the filling for the pupusas, and then we'll actually roll the pupusas after that. Alright. This doesn't have to be like smooth, but we want it like not chunky. You know? We are making a salsa, not pico de gallo. Like we're making like a salsa, a wet salsa. All right, get all this good stuff out of here, and then we have to salt this and add just a touch of rice vinegar again because my limes were a little too hard, so we'll let those chill out so I can use them next time. Alright, rice vinegar. Normally you should taste this first to see where you're at, but I know that I didn't add too much lime in here. And then
Okay, Sean.
a little touch of salt. Maybe 2 pinches of salt. And you know what? I will add a splash of fish sauce too.
Drop the mic. Oh my god.
Alright, little splash of fish sauce in here, just for umami and salt. Pinch of oregano. I would put cumin in here too, but I used up most of my cumin. See what I can scrounge up from here. Tiny bit of cumin. Brush it all out. Yeah, look at that. That's plenty of cumin. right. Give this a mix, taste, and then we'll cook it down. So we want to make sure we're tasting it raw first, just to know where we're at, and then we'll taste it when it's cooked as well. All right. Oh, I was saying. Oh no, I already said what one thing that made me smile. Martin and Lena, what's one thing that made y'all smile today? So far.
It makes me smile that this stream is finally happening.
Yeah. Ooh, spicy. It's good.
It makes me smile that you're making stuff spicy. That makes me
Lena, do
very
you eat
happy.
spicy?
Yes, I do.
Oh, nice.
I like just marinated some salsa yesterday. So I'm gonna cook that probably like tomorrow.
Okay. Good.
Ooh.
Fresh.
Nice.
And then we're gonna cook this down. So I'm gonna use the same pan that I used to toast my cumin in. A little bit of oil. I'm actually gonna use rapeseed oil. So rapeseed oil is common in Chinese cooking. Rapeseed oil is basically just canola oil, but Chinese rapeseed oil, you can buy roasted rapeseed oil, which is what we're using. And it adds this like kind of nut quality to the oil because they roast the rape seeds. Chinese, this is like common in Sichuan cooking a lot. This is like a big foundation of like Sichuanese food. But nowadays, a lot of people use peanut oil actually to add that same kind of nuttiness. Can't find rapeseed oil, totally optional. Use any oil that you want. So I'm just gonna let this heat up for a bit. I'm just gonna throw in actually a little bit of lard too, because I had leftover lard.
Was that from yesterday?
That was from when I made the chicharrones.
Oh.
Yeah, so a touch of lard just for extra flavor. I am not vegetarian, so I can eat lard.
Yeah. Did you bake them or fry them?
No, they were fried. So these are rendered out. On Thursday, as part of the stream, we had pork fat.
Ooh.
And I was showing stream how to render out the pork fat. To render out pork fat, for those of you who couldn't tune in, all you need to do is start a large pan big enough for your fat of choice, and then basically start out with a pot of water, a little bit of water to cover the meat, the raw meat, and just cook it down. The water is going to evaporate while also rendering out some of that fat, and then once all the water is evaporated, you're going to be able to render out the rest of that fat.
Lid on?
You don't need the lid on. Yeah, you actually, you want the lid on, especially when all the water evaporates, because you want the water to evaporate. So I'm gonna throw away some of these scraps that we don't need, and these orange. So most of the onion scraps I won't use, but the carrot scraps I will save for soups. Onion scrap I can save. This pepper scrap I can save as well. See, look at that. Now all that will be used for a soup, for a broth, which actually might start later too. We don't need this dripping hot, so we're gonna add the salsa in here. Let this cook down, and we'll put it right back into this pot stew. We don't need this cooked down for like a while. What we're trying to do is we're just trying to reduce this a little bit, concentrate the flavor, and cook out some of that raw taste in here. What I like to do, and this is a technique that is used a lot in both Chinese cooking and Indian cooking, is that I look for the point at which the oil separates out. So right now you don't see oil in this, right? And like you don't really see the oil. But eventually, the oil will kind of seep out a little bit, and depending on how far, what cuisine you're going for, you can go at different stages of that. So for like Chinese cooking, for when they're making like stuff like mapo tofu, for Indian cooking, when they're making like curries and whatnot, they wait until all the fat leaches out of it from the paste, and that's when they start frying the other ingredients in that flavored oil. But this one, we're just gonna let it cook down for a little bit.
What causes the oil to separate?
Basically, so it's not a similar process as the fat. You're evaporating the water, the oil stays. So once all the water is removed, then the oil will be left over, and that causes that to leach out. We don't want all the water to evaporate here. We just want it to get going a little bit. It's going to turn a little bit darker in color, which is what we want, and that's what we're looking for. Alright, so in the meantime, I am going to clean up a bit here. These can all live on my sink for now. And then these scraps will go into this. I'll use this for later too. Alright. Wipe my board down because we're going to be using this in a bit. And now what we'll do is I actually need to rinse out my salsa container because we're going to use this to grind our chicharron too. Yeah, so this, I don't know if you can tell, but it's mostly water, but then in these little bubbles, you'll eventually start to see a little bit of oil droplets kind of form. And that's what we're looking for. Alright, so now our chicharron, I'm going to grab the blade as well.
I'm gonna yank one more.
Yeah. Yeah, sure.
Yeah, thank you.
They're just crunchy. It's really, they're just texture. It tastes like pork. So these are gonna grind up. We'll start with this avocado pan. This is a great camera setup because now I can look at the stove too. Just on the
Oh yeah.
Right.
The chicharrones are actually so good to have with beer.
To have what?
With beer.
Yeah.
What I'm gonna do now.
Yeah.
Do you want one?
I'm ready.
So we just are looking to grind these. They don't have to be super fine. We're just breaking them up so that we're not chewing down on like big pieces of chicharron in here in the pupusa. This is all gonna be mixed with the salsa and some cheese as well, and then it's gonna form like a filling. I'm really excited to work with masa. I've never worked with maseca before, but it's good. It's good practice for me right now. All right. Go in here, and I'm gonna fish out some of the bigger pieces to grind again. If your food processor is a little better, a little more higher quality than mine, you won't need to do this. But this is a small boy, so we'll fish it out. Right. Yeah. This is almost there. Almost. It's starting to get a little more watery, which is fine. But we want some of this to evaporate. We want this to be thick, slightly thicker.
More of a gravy.
Not like a gravy, just like not super watery. Like I shouldn't be able to do that. Dank. Cheers, Gambe.
Salud.
Salud. Modelo Negro. Seriously, my favorite beer right now. I will only drink this and White Claw.
I think I've ever heard anyone say that.
Modelo Negro and White Claw.
First of all, White Claw is not a beer. Dark good show. I do like hard seltzer.
I do.
I don't blame you.
It just makes me feel better, you know, drinking it. I can also crush them better, more easily.
Oh, like the speed of drinking?
Yes. Not feeling like gross, you know.
It's
I
not
feel
as bloating as...
Exactly.
Well, I'm excited to make our own, like, alcohols.
Yeah, we're trying to do, like, whiskeys, too, like alcohol distillery at some
definitely
point.
beer.
And
No,
beer.
I mean, like, in the short term, not even in the long term.
Oh,
Making
yeah.
beer, we can do a beer stream where we make a beer.
Oh, yeah.
But also
My future brother-in-law.
our
would be great with
makgeolli and soju homemade.
that. Yeah, true.
I think we can do it.
Homemade makgeolli, homemade soju. You think so?
I mean, homemade makgeolli is easy. It's just the rice.
Yeah, I also want to make Chinese rice wine too.
Yeah. Soju, everybody.
You guys know Blake Shelton? He's the country singer, right?
Yeah.
He always used like rice wine when he's drinking like sake. It was so funny.
That's the most random
The whitest thing.
connection to make there. Oh, that reminds me of the time Blake Sheldon was.
Alright, so while we're waiting for this is almost there.
That looks so good too.
We don't need all of this, so I will save some of this for later. Actually, I'm gonna use.
Wait, Sean, do you have another sticker?
Yeah,
Because I can actually.
I do have
I brought
stickers.
my MSG apron that doesn't have the.
It doesn't have. They're in my room. They're in one of those gray bins in my room. So I'm gonna throw this also in this one because this is just a little bigger. I just need to mix it. Still a little watery. It smells good. Yeah. It's gonna taste slightly different too. So if we excuse me. I love having lots of spoons.
Wait, Sean.
Yeah.
Are you in your closet?
No. It's under my bed.
Oh, under your bed. Leah, would you like one?
I've got plenty at home. I think so. We got them like on the fridge and everything.
Alright. So reducing this down also makes it a little spicier, which is perfect for Martin and me, and Lena too. I'm gonna add about two little paddles of this, maybe 3. And I'll save this because we don't need this anymore, but I'll save it on here. And I need to find a container for that in a second. And then what I'll do, and I'm gonna shred this cheese up a little bit.
Mozzarella?
Quesilla. I just bought this at Amy's, which is a Mexican grocery store here, but it's like it's like a Mexican string cheese, you know. So I'm just gonna chop this up and mix it in. I was also gonna put potentially some Swiss in this because I have Swiss, but I also have a bunch of this now. So maybe I'll just use this. Taste test. Okay, so this is it's like a firmer mozzarella that's slightly saltier. That's the taste. That's the flavor. You wanna try one?
Don't mind if I do.
Oh yeah, it's a little heartier.
Heartier than Mott's. Has the same kind of texture because it's a fresh cheese. Mozzarella is a fresh cheese.
All right, real quick
Slightly salty.
life hack tutorial: how to turn any non-MSG item into MSG merch. Make sure that's lined up right there. Okay, and this is now an MSG official apron.
Amazing.
It's very crooked.
All right. So now we're just gonna mix the cheese into the pork.
There you go.
All this cheese.
We'll be making merch at some point.
At some point.
Maybe aprons, among other things.
Yeah, let us know if you're interested in something.
Yeah.
You know, I pitched out the idea of a trash can. Didn't really hit.
Trash can. First of all,
Really
the
hit.
reason why trash can makes no sense is because we would be eating all of the food.
No.
There would be no trash.
There's always trash.
No,
I love the optimism right there.
There would be no trash.
Alright, so this is what we're looking for, this little mixture of cheese and pork. Right here.
Oh, Sean, you have a question.
Oh, let's see, what's my...
For a cleaver.
A cleaver? I like going to the restaurant supply stores in Chinatown to get my cleavers, my Chinese cleavers, or regular cleavers, but I like those cleavers. There's not much difference between, if you're looking for a true cleaver. So let me aside really quick. This is not technically a cleaver. This is a Chinese chef's knife, right? So the difference between this and a cleaver is going to be a little bit thicker and a little bit heavier. A cleaver is used to cut bones, right? So you need something with heft in it. So when you're shopping for a cleaver, it should feel heavy, right? Because you want it to whack through bones like this. But like I said, I like going to Chinese restaurant supply stores. One, because they're dying. They are a dying breed, unfortunately, and we need to support our communities. And then two, you can also pick up one of those when you're there too, a Chinese chef knife. And so I like both. I recommend actually having both in your home. You can do anything, literally anything with Chinese chef's knife. It's great to scoop things off from the cutting board and act as like a, as a handle for things, or like a little vessel for things. I can go like this, scoop it out there. This wide surface will let me do that. Cleaver, same thing. And if you don't have a meat grinder, but you want to grind meat for dumplings or something like that, you do cleaver in one hand, your Chinese chef knife in another, and you go like this. That will hand chop your meat, hand grind your meat. Gives you a nice texture as well because they're all a little irregular. And that's like, if you ever tried using store-bought ground beef or pork for dumplings, you might notice that the texture isn't the same as what you get from like a restaurant, from like a Chinese store restaurant. And that's because they're hand chopping their meat, right? So they have these like different textures in it, and it's like kind of even more emulsified. But
they gotta make so much of that filling. Why wouldn't they just machine grind it?
So sometimes they'll use a different dye than like your typical supermarket machine grind. It's a little bit thicker. So they do that sometimes. If they're not making that much meat or not making that much filling, what they'll do is just have a whole cutting board of meat and they just go at it, and that's usually enough for like 50 dumplings or something like that. And a lot of reasons for that is that like some of these restaurants didn't have the capital to buy like a restaurant grade industrial meat grinder. So doing everything by hand.
How do you ensure your knives are sharp enough to do that?
Good question. So the knives themselves, yes, should be sharp, but really the easiest thing to do to make ground meat with the knife is a heavy knife. So if it's heavy, you can do this because you're just kind of pulverizing it anyways. You want to start off in like smaller pieces. So you're gonna chunk them up first, and that's when you need a sharper knife to get through them. And then when you don't, you just chop it up. But there are plenty of like knife sharpeners out there. The best is the whetstone. It takes a little bit of practice, but I sometimes use something like, I even have it with me. It's just like those things that you pull through the knife, a little plastic thing. You can go like this. Let me see if I can find it.
I'm not sure what that is actually.
Yeah, let me see if I can find it. I have it. I thought I had it. Nope, I don't see it. Well, there are a couple things.
Are aware, so I don't know if you're aware. Frame line comes all the way to you.
Oh yeah, okay.
Oh, it's right here. Something like this.
Oh, it's so cute.
Right, so.
It looks like the thing you get at like Daiso to like punch like different holes.
Oh yeah, kind of, right? It's like a hole puncher. There's not a hole puncher though. So what I do with this is you just hold it. You can put it on the counter, so it's a little easier, and then you just swipe your knife through it. But this is going to be a little more similar to like a honing skill. So to do this, you'll have to do it like multiple times. I like to also do it on both sides, just for like an even edge. Not everyone does this, but I do it. And then you want to give it like a quick wipe because you are grating away metal. So you can do this like every time before you cook, give it a few passes through. You don't want to sharpen your knives. You can also get your knives professionally sharpened, which is also like good. It doesn't cost too much. What I like to do sometimes is like I'll try to group package. So get like a bunch of knives that I have. Because I own a bunch of knives, I don't need to like ask friends, but sometimes I'll group together with friends and be like, hey, you want to go in on a knife sharpening expense. So I just add some salt to this because I need a little bit of salt. I'm gonna add a touch more salsa. It's not salty enough. The the pork in there is like very fatty, very rich, so it can take a lot of seasoning. We're literally just eating fat, like fried fat is what we're eating.
This sounds amazing.
That does sound incredible.
Right, and the cheese is a little salty too, so we're just making sure that we season this properly because this will be stuffed in a pupusa, and if the pupusa filling is not flavorful, your pupusa is gonna suck.
So Sean, question.
Yep.
Philosophical question for you. No, I have a philosophical question for you. Is a pupusa a dumpling?
Dude, I was like, this question is it just like a
Is it
flat
gonna come
dumpling?
out? It's like it kind of is, right? Like
Hashtag is it a dumpling?
is it a dumpling? I kind of think it qualifies for a dumpling, right?
Yeah.
So what qualifies for a dumpling?
To me, a dumpling has to be, first and foremost, it has to be dough. It does not have to be filled, but it has to be dough. It has to be raw dough that you cook. You can either boil it, steam it, or bake it. If it is filled with something, then it needs to be raw dough. The filling can be cooked, but it has to be enclosed into the dumpling itself. And then, to me, I think a dumpling is always a single dumpling cannot be a meal.
That's so false.
I think
You can make a gigantic dumpling and it's a whole meal.
But I don't think that's like really a dumpling then, is what I'm trying to say.
Wait, do you mean meal by calories or meal by like variety? Like hits all the food groups.
Oh,
what,
no,
what is
like,
it?
Like calories, yeah, like calories. Because what I think about it is like, if I ever have dumplings, like Chinese dumplings or like pierogies, right? If I eat one of those, it's not a meal for me, right? I need like a plate of those to be like a proper.
What if it's a really big?
Right,
pierogi?
and then like, so that's the thing, right? Like, so like those to me don't qualify as dumplings anymore, right? That's why I don't consider like a calzone a dumpling, because a calzone, one calzone is like a.
What if
large
you made a
dumpling,
calzone
right?
this big?
Yeah, and that'd be a dumpling. Mini calzones, dumpling. Right? So I think this is.
Okay, so the reason why I brought this up is because this is for those of you who know, this is an ongoing philosophical
debate,
like existential
the dumpling debate.
study of topic of study for Sean, and sometimes it makes a lot of sense, but sometimes not so consistent.
Oh, the
Right.
texture.
Good, right? You want to use mine?
Ooh. So when you then bake, is it you're baking the is it baking?
No,
it?
you pan fry it. We're gonna pan fry them. Yep. We're
Okay.
gonna form them and then pan fry them.
Okay, so when you pan fry them,
Mhm.
does that texture soften though?
This texture?
Yeah.
No, not really. So the only way that this will soften more, I mean, the cheese is gonna melt a little bit. I'm gonna throw a little bit of fish sauce just for added umami. The cheese is gonna melt a little bit. This cheese, I'm actually not sure about the melting properties. So this cheese actually might not melt. We'll see.
Okay. Yeah. Because you put like hot salsa in there, and it's like still very much of it's like very solid.
Yep. And this is going to be, this will soften the longer it sits, right? The longer it hydrates, it'll soften, but not necessarily like when it cooks. Yeah, okay, that's where I want it. Okay, so now the fun part. We're gonna make masa dough. Use this guy.
Masa is definitely one of my favorite ingredients of all time.
Yeah. What do you know about masa? Why is it your favorite? You just like the taste of it?
I just love corn.
Yeah, true.
I love corn anything. I love it should go in everything, on everything. Everything should be made of corn.
So is corn the favorite ingredient then?
Corn syrup is very bad though.
You don't like corn syrup? Oh, corn.
Wait, is this too political now?
That's corn syrup.
Never mind. Corn subsidies are great. No problems there at all.
So I have a big jug of masega right here, and I'm just gonna add, quite a bit actually. Like we have a decent amount of filling. You don't use too much filling in your pupusas because you don't want them to explode.
They're pretty flat, right?
They're pretty flat,
They're not
exactly.
so much like little hills.
Yeah, they're not little hills, they're flat.
So I know we've been also kind of like explaining stuff to people.
Mm-hmm.
But I wonder if like my friend Gio's parents would make pupusas in less time than you.
Probably.
Because it's been an hour.
I feel like
I'm getting hungry, chat. That's the problem.
So I'm gonna make probably extra masa dough just because if I have leftovers, then I can make tortillas out of them.
Of course.
So now I just need a jug of water.
I'm also team corn tortilla for anyone who is curious.
Yo,
Some
I
people
second
are team
that.
flour tortilla. I'm team corn tortilla.
I think there's a place for flour tortillas. The thing though with flour tortillas is that like they're a
Yeah,
lot.
the only
more
place
difficult
for
to
flour tortillas is if you're making a gigantic Chipotle burrito. It's the only time that's the superior.
do. Well,
tortilla.
any burrito, right?
Yeah.
All burritos have.
Well, if they're,
a lot of flour.
yeah, you can't really like hold its shape as well.
Okay, so what we're doing is now we're just adding. I want a touch of salt in this too, just to flavor it. So about 2 pinches of salt. Mix that all in, and then we're just gonna add in water. Slowly at first. What we're looking to do is just hydrate the maseca. And you'll see that this will clump up. We're going to get a very specific texture that we're gonna look for. So this is not it. This is very lumpy and sandy, but it's gonna come together as a bowl. So now I need to add more flour, or more water, I should say,
Wait, do you think you could make like sand castles
with masa.
Maseca?
Probably.
And then and then bake it. As
Possibly.
bake like a masa castle.
Yeah, honestly, probably.
I'm also down for this. Is a very tame, like just regular cooking stream, which Sean is going to be trying to do more of. Hopefully, like twice a week of just him cooking and just talking about cooking. But another vertical of content that we could do is just really stupid stuff. Like, can you make a masa castle? I feel like we should investigate that. The world needs to know.
The world needs
The
to
world
know.
needs to know. Can you make a masa castle?
Is a masa castle possible? Alright. So again, very dry, very sandy, very loose. We don't want that. We want this to come together as a bowl.
Oh no, Sophia said corn should not be on everything.
Alright, Sophia, what examples of things should not have corn?
Yeah. Come on, name them. Because honestly, a pizza, corn, duh, obviously.
Cornmeal crust is good.
I wasn't even thinking that. That's next
Yeah.
level. I was just putting corn on my pizza.
Oh, I don't do that, man.
Cornmeal crust would be great. Cereal, corn, obviously. What else?
Corn cheese.
Corn cheese,
Corn,
amazing.
Corn flavored ice cream, amazing.
What?
So good.
Wait,
Corn
I
flavored
never
ice cream,
have
so
tried
good.
that.
Corn ice cream
It's
is
so
so good. Oh
It's
man. Oh.
It's up there with like sesame, like black sesame and like avocado. It's just like very like fatty
Okay.
experience.
Where can you get corn flavored ice cream?
Ben Lewin's has it.
What's
Morgenstern's
it called?
Ooh.
I think has some. Jenny's.
No, but what? Oh, Sundays and cones.
Sundays and cones.
Yeah, by NYU.
Yeah, they
Shout
have
out to
that
Sundays
too.
and cones.
Also, I saw Stacy Lou.
Who's that?
They would chatter on stream.
Oh, it's just a chatter. Oh,
Just
no.
kidding, just kidding. So Stacy's my sister.
You.
She's actually the main owner of
Stacey,
MSG.
I'll beat him up. I'll beat
He's
him up
actually
for
the
that.
main
That's
owner
No respect.
of
No
MSG.
respect.
And she was asking I should drop some restaurant supply stores. I actually don't know restaurant supply stores by name. I know them kind of by location,
Just
but
like
I
where they are.
I just know generally how to get them. But like you go on like Bowery Street in like Chinatown, you'll see some there.
Oh yeah. So many lighting stores.
Lighting stores, yeah, that too.
Chandeliers and stuff.
Mhm. So this is still wet. We don't. So you all see how this is like still kind of crumbly. It's still kind of crumbly, right? Which is what we don't want. We want this to be a full bowl, right? So I'm gonna add a touch more water. It's about like 4 cups now. I added about I don't even know, like 4 cups of maseca maybe.
You know, I did not notice this earlier.
Yeah.
This is the 2-camp setup.
Ooh.
Because I don't know if you can tell with the main camera angle, but this is an external battery that is plugged into an action cam that is taped onto a mini tripod that is looking down. This whole setup is incredibly amateurish. But
Yeah. So
it gets the job done.
So follow so that you can sub with your Amazon Primes later, so that we can upgrade our setups.
Wow, Sean's been watching some Twitch. That's right. If you have Amazon Prime, you could have one subscription for free that you're not using right now.
Yep. But you
can't subscribe yet because we're too small.
Right.
But eventually we will be of the size where you can use your Prime subscription.
So this is exactly what we want. You see how I'm able to pick up all the masa flour from this bowl. This bowl is basically empty. into this bowl now, right? And then we want to just make sure that we're packing it all in, smoothing it out. It feels hydrated, right? So, Martin, come feel this, right? It feels hydrated, right?
Oh, it feels
Right?
hydrated.
It feels hydrated. And that's what we're
Speaking
looking
of
for.
which, hydration check.
Drink
Everyone
some
should
water.
water.
Drink your water. Make sure you're hydrated.
Hydra homies.
Water break. Hey, I will drink water on stream for y'all if that's what you want as well.
I love a good peer pressure.
Right. All right. So, and then you can test this too. If you break it apart like this, you see how everything is hydrated. So everything in here is hydrated, right? It's not crumbling. It's still staying together, right? And this is exactly where we need to be for the pupusas. Maseka, you don't have to work too much, right? There's not really that much gluten.
Well, I was gonna say, is there any penalty to overworking it, like there is with dough, like overeating?
I mean, it's a waste of time for one.
True.
Masa tends to be a little more forgiving.
I was gonna say it's more granular. for
Yeah.
sure, yeah.
Yeah, it tends to be a little more forgiving to like overworking. You're not really gonna have like too much gluten formation. That being said, I have eaten sometimes like a tough taco, you know, like a.
Wait, you gotta do me a favor and hold that again.
For the content.
Well, no, because I need to know, like tell me this doesn't look like Play-Doh right now. Like, I just want to build stuff with this right now.
Build your sandcastle.
That's what I'm saying. we need to do that on video at some point.
So what we're gonna do is everyone will get a bowl like this.
Oh, us too?
Yeah, come in.
Watch my nose.
Come in and work.
Good work.
Oh, true.
So actually another good test here is that if I press this out, you see how there's cracks forming? So that actually means I need a touch more water.
Yeah. Oh, this reminds me of making dumplings with my mom on Lunar New Year.
Yeah, very similar, right?
When does the dough feel like too wet?
You can tell. You can tell when it's like too wet because it literally just feels like water.
Okay.
And you can just counteract that by adding more.
Yep.
Right.
Very forgiving. Masaka is not like another dough, which is also part of the reason why like flour tortillas are not as commonly seen because it just takes forever to make flour tortillas and they don't last as long.
Wait, really?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I assumed that the corn tortilla, not owing to its like the process of how it's made, but I always just see flour tortilla more than corn tortilla.
So flour tortilla,
or I perceive it at corn tortilla as slightly more artisanal or elevated. And no offense, because Taco Bell is my favorite chain restaurant, but it's because like places like Taco Bell, like the default tortilla is
yeah.
flour.
So
right? It's all flour.
so the thing with
I love
flour,
you, Taco Bell. Please sponsor us.
the thing with flour tortillas is that they have a longer shelf life. They can
I see.
you can make them in advance and then store them, freeze them. Just the process of making them by yourself at home is harder, right? It takes more time than masa does.
And it's more exacting of a process.
Mm-hmm. You have to really work out the gluten in it.
Gotcha.
Whereas masa, this is really quick, but the problem with this is that, you know, if you ever bought store-bought masa versus like freshly made corn tortillas, freshly made is far superior because packaged masa does not have a long shelf life. Once you make it, right, that's like kind of it. So we're at a good point here. It still feels wet. I'm getting a little bit of cracks, but they smooth out, right? So what we're gonna do is we're just going to press it out like this, so then flatten it, and we'll smooth the sides out.
But you have such long fingers. I've never realized this before.
I used to.
I have really stubby fingers.
I'm surprised because didn't you play piano?
It was very difficult. Rip octaves, you know, just not and guitar too. It's always better to have longer fingers.
So this is what we're doing here. We're just flattening
Just
this
making
out.
little silver dollars. Well, a little
bigger than silver dollars.
Yeah.
And just making sure that they're like pretty even, pretty flat, and then we want to. It's not like dumplings where with dumplings you kind of want to
roll it out.
Yeah, you want to. Well, with dumplings you typically want to leave the center a little bit thicker than the edges. That way ensures one that you complete, and then two that it doesn't burst.
Mm.
These ones we want on basically the same thickness around.
This just looks like a masa cake right now.
Yep. I mean, it's basically what it is, right? A masa cake. And then we'll take a handful of filling, not too much. We can also use a spoon. Actually, I'll grab a spoon in a second. You don't want too much filling either. For these, and we're making like a little bit smaller masas, or pupusas. So something like this, right?
Yeah, I was gonna say, I think the one I was used to a little bit closer to like a torta.
Yeah, they're a little bigger. My hands are just small, so just have small hands. And then all you do, you can even make this thinner too. Actually, for the next one, it would probably be a little bit thinner. Is best. What you do is you just kind of push it down like this. Oops, already ripped on me.
Masa dough have more of like a give than like flour.
No, masa dough I find is like even less. Yeah, because
Very brittle.
It's not springy. Yeah, very brittle. And if it cracks like this, you can actually just pinch it together, fold it, and then what we do when we get to this point, make it all fold in like that, and then all this leftover dough on top, you actually can just, if this were a little bit longer,
Oh, so it's like the
just rip it like this and throw it back in, right? Because we don't need that much.
Oh, it actually looks
Makes
so much like
an
a pal.
uglier bow. Yeah.
Yeah, and then you flatten it, right? You flatten it like this.
Oh, okay. I was gonna say.
Right, and then so this one didn't come out that pretty because I need to use one more dough and to have it a little bit thinner. But this is the general gist of it. So practice run. I'm learning too.
Can you steam cornmeal?
Yeah, tamales.
Okay, so you could have actually kept it in like the bao form and then steamed them, right?
Yeah. The only thing with
Or
that
deep
is
fry
that
them. Why not?
Because the thing with that
Dude,
though,
I would eat that. Deep fried corn is also great.
the thing with that though is that like
Funnel.
because like you know how tamale like they're wrapped in the leaves, right? If you just steam this as is, like it's kind of gonna disintegrate.
It's gonna be really soft. Yeah.
You need to wrap it so that you can take it
So
out.
what you're saying is we should just deep fry it.
Yeah, that's exactly what I'm saying.
I would definitely eat a deep fried corn bao.
So, all right, y'all get in there. Let me see how y'all do, because this one didn't turn out
us?
great. Yeah, you too.
All right, I'm gonna try to go thin.
Don't go too big, right? We still want it like.
Yeah, it also kind of looks like mashed potato, like the powder mashed potato.
It's so soft.
Yeah, super soft.
Oh, it's really light.
Right.
Yeah.
Yep. It's exactly what we want. So I'm gonna try to fix this one, but it should be good. Should be fine. You know, we're just eating this. We're not selling these yet.
Yes.
Yeah. So now we'll just make a little disc like this. It's a whole process.
Why would you want to form them with your hands instead of using a rolling pin?
They tend to stick more to a rolling pin. Like since they're very wet. There's a very wet dough. They should not stick to your hands. That's one tell on like hydration. But they might stick. Like you might have a hard time picking this off from the cutting board.
That would suck.
So this is what they do too. They go like this and they flap it out. Oh. And so what Martin's doing a little slower, which means that he's gonna get something like that, right? Usually these are done like you see the aunties, the Mexican aunties do it like like
It's
this, right?
cracking so much at the end.
All right, I want to grab a spoon for our filling.
Okay, this is good enough, yeah.
Is that good enough? Yeah.
Should I wait? So if you feel like it's on the verge of being a little bit not wet enough, could you just like wet your hand and just kind of
incorporate it in?
Yeah.
It's easier to just do it in the dough, right? Because if your thing is dry, that means the whole thing is dry. That means the whole batch is dry. You know. So you know.
So do you feel that this is maybe a
little
tad dry?
We can add more water to this. We can see how it goes.
Because it actually does feel remarkably like Play-Doh. like the consistency is extremely similar, and if your Play-Doh is slightly dry, you can see it like crack. At the round edges.
So that's exactly that's a great analogy for this because tortillas That's like the exact texture that you're looking for.
Okay.
For this, so we will add a little bit more water after these batches. And then we'll add a little bit of filling in here. Again, I don't need too much.
It's like a little more than a tablespoon.
Sure. And then we just fold it up like this.
I think you can do a little more than this, right?
You can do more than that, yeah. Yeah, Man, I think you're right. These are a little bit dry, so we add a little bit more water when we go back.
These are cracking.
Yeah, because
Mine's cracking a lot.
Yeah. Mine as well.
It's got a lot of cracking. Not the prettiest thing.
Yeah, not the prettiest. They could be prettier if we had a little more experience.
Wait, so actually, I probably should have asked you this before we started streaming, but out of curiosity, why did you choose pupusa for today's stream?
Because I really just chose pupusa because we had chicharrones from last time, and I had masa, and I really want to play with masa today.
Okay.
And I thought because pupusas are a little bit of more of a process, it'd be a good Sunday stream to do.
That's true.
Whereas, eventually I want to make pupusas. Right, you mix it.
I also just feel like a lot of people just didn't maybe know what that was. It's not like I wouldn't say it's their most ubiquitous.
Sure.
thing. No. So I like that we're talking about.
Yeah, me too.
People might not know about pupusas. I don't know. Maybe everyone knew about pupusas already, and it was just me.
Alright, I'm gonna cook them on this skillet here. This is a crepe pan, cast iron crepe pan, but I use this almost like a comal, which is a Mexican griddle, basically. So we're just gonna preheat this while we make more pupusas.
It also now that you flatten it, it just looks like a cookie.
Meat filled.
Wait, like this actually could just be like a white chocolate macadamia.
Imagine that. Hi, Charlie. I'll eat whatever it is you are making, I'm assuming. I don't know who Charlie is.
Oh, are you with Charlie? I mean, Gia?
I'm a little too short for this table, so I have to stand on my tippy toes in order to get the full shoulder strength.
Yep.
MSG platform shoes?
MSG platform shoes. Is you can pick it all up and do it in your hand, like this. You just form it into a ball. This is a good way to test too, and then you do this. Take a little bit. You don't need to mix it too much, since it's already hydrated or partially hydrated.
It's just hydrating a little bit more.
A little bit more.
But to answer your not exactly question, we're making pupusas, and you should totally come eat.
Pupusas are a Salvadorian masa cake, griddled masa cake.
So how do you triage this here? So there's a lot of crack. It basically is in quarters right now. It's
Right.
like pizza.
Mm-hmm. You can top it with a little bit of masa. You can that little bit of water made so much difference.
Yeah. So just rub it on, right?
Yeah. Oh yeah. Well, so at this point, I would just try to cover up some of the meat, and then we'll just grill it, and then it'll just be like a uglier looking pupusa.
It's patched up. It's like when you get a flat tire while biking. You just need to
duct tape it.
You just need to patch up the inner tube, just get you home.
Yeah. So the stream you can see as I'm pressing it, I'm getting less cracks. So that was a good call on the water.
Yes, sir. Oh, this is a little better. A little bit more. I mean, it's still very ugly compared to Sean's and Lena's.
Mine are ugly.
Well, then I guess the clean ones are Lena's. I don't know.
This one flip it over, it's.
Oh, well, that's what. Yeah. No, so one side looks great, and then I flipped it over. I was like, this is gonna break.
Oh yeah, mine looks fine on one side. If you flip it, it looks like trash.
All right. So I'm using quarter cup of this, but I'm not using the full quarter cup.
Mm-hmm.
And then you fold it like almost like shumai, right? Where it's like this. You fold it in like this. And then for this top part, the way you seal it, you just
Oh, I didn't do the volcano top. Okay.
you're like because masa's so easy to work with. You can just trim it like this, and then that'll
See, that's
seal
so
it off.
pretty.
Right?
It looked like a pastry floret. Like a little. You know?
I think of like shumai, like
Yeah.
bao or top.
Well, I was actually because when you were like tightening in the top like that, it almost looked like the what's the one that you do with the string? The money bags.
Like the.
You know what I'm talking about?
I think I know what you're talking about. I don't know exactly what they're called.
Money bags.
Because Martin's not talking about dumplings, the one with the sticky rice. He's talking about like the little ones, the little
Yes.
purses. I think those are technically shumai too.
Oh, really?
Yep, just a different kind.
Hashtag is it a shumai?
Is it a shumai?
Okay, this wasn't terrible.
Right?
Okay, it's like kind of less cracky.
Yep. So these are better now
So
too.
what is the case for this process as opposed to a thinner layer? Filling another thinner layer and pinch.
Pinch. This will ensure there's no air inside. This will also ensure like, I think like for me the way I think about this is that, it's easier, it's quicker to do it in one hand, like one dough and form it in, as opposed to like rolling it out.
Okay, this always just destroys my thing when I do that because I'm bad at it.
Are you using your palms? Use your palms when you're doing it.
Small hands, bro. F in the chat for small hands.
F in the chat, small hands.
Yeah. A little scooperino.
How much filling do we have left? Enough for maybe.
At least 2 more, maybe 3. This might be too much. This might be too much, huh? Yeah, there you go.
It's not too much, but this is also too much. All right. Some people like their pupusas stuffed, though.
I mean, I think stuffed is ideal, but you want to make sure it has
fold.
integrity. Yeah,
That's right.
that's how you should live your life as well, with integrity.
Not stuffed.
I mean, you could be stuffed and also live with integrity. And that's the ideal, right? You want it to
You
be
wanna do
stuffed.
both?
Yeah. This also kind of reminds me of like a Rangoon shape before I spin it off and volcano top it.
You guys know a fun story about like crab rangoon. Crab rangoon was first brought to the States from this dude, Trader Vic's. Sorry, Trader Vic's. He had this bar, the first kind of tiki bar in the United States, because he was inspired by the Polynesian vibes of the World War II time era, and he brought back that stuff in the form of a tiki bar, and then he was working with his staff here trying to figure out like meals, little bar snacks to incorporate with it. So his bar back, a Chinese American, decided to pitch the idea of, well, why don't we stuff crab and cream cheese in a wonton skin and deep fry it, and thus the crab rangoon was born.
Which sounds amazing, by the way.
And it's funny because Rangoon is a I think the capital of what, Myanmar or something, but it's like the history, the historical context of like crab rangoon is just all over the place. It's really funny. At least I find it hilarious.
It's pretty classically American.
Yeah, surely. All right, I'm gonna start grilling up some of these while y'all finish up. So this is lard. I'm gonna use lard here. A good amount of lard. We are like basically shallow frying these.
Sounds amazing.
What's the burn risk here?
Of the was this burning?
Mhm. No, you burning.
Me burning?
Yeah, from the oil.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Like the oil burning you.
Like will splatter and
Yeah.
stuff like that. Not too much. I don't think like masa really splatters. What might cause it to splatter more is if you have like some of these openings and then you're getting some of that moisture in there. So that might cause it to splatter a little bit.
100%.
So
We'll find out.
next time on Dragon Ball Z.
Yeah. I only ask because Sean has many battle scars of oil burns.
So do you just like grill them dry?
Yep. You just grill them like this. A little bit of oil.
No water?
No water. You don't need water. They just grill. Like medium. Oh, sorry. Like medium heat. Roughly. I'll do 4 at a time because I think I can fit 4 in here. And then we'll eat this with slaw and salsa. So in general, I think Martin, some of these are yours, right? For pupusa, you don't necessarily want like the closed like
Oh, I only did that for one.
leveled lips. You want
Yeah,
them
those are
relatively
small.
flat like this, so that they get an even crust over on both sides.
Should we make more? Yeah, I guess they're still filling.
Yeah, I think maybe filling for like 2 more.
Okay.
Or did you want to keep the
No. Use all that filling for pupusas, and then I'll use the rest of the masa to make tortillas.
Yes.
Oh. This one might fall apart.
They're trying their best.
I think I made mine too thin.
Use a little peek underneath to see where we're at.
How long's the cook time?
It really doesn't take too long to cook. Masa in itself is not like. Masa in itself doesn't take that long to cook, right? Like when they're making tortillas, they really just grill them until they're brown, right?
Uh-huh.
So that's kind of what we're looking for here too. Like the filling's already cooked.
Yeah, I was gonna say there's no raw meat. or
Exactly. So we're just really looking for this to get brown. Depending on like your heat source, your pan size, how many you're making, take 5 minutes, 7 minutes, something like that. I would
anything.
guess.
But you really just go by how it looks on the outside,
Mhm.
right? You can afford to do that.
Like 5 to 7 minutes each side, or like
No, in total. But I'm really what I'm doing is, I'm just checking it every now and then for color on the bottom. That's what we're looking for. That color. Yep, almost there. This first one's almost there. I'm gonna use this empty jar to store my leftover salsa in.
Nice.
Right, so look at that. Nice and brown. It could have even gone a little bit longer.
So, question:
Mhm.
is a hot dog a pupusa?
Oh, similar, right? I think since pupusa is the name of a dish, pupusas to me have to be corn meal. Have to be corn masa.
But if I make hot dog out of corn, is it pupusa?
Yeah, but then is it a hot dog?
I don't know. I don't know. I
Right,
don't know if the material is like part of the
So,
definition.
so the thing with that, like, I really get hung up on for when it comes to like verbiage on food, is that like we oftentimes call dishes by their names. Hot dog is a dish. Tteokbokki is a dish, right?
Right, and dumpling is more of a category.
Dumpling is a category, right? Dumpling, there are many dumplings, right? We can call the Chinese dumpling jiaozi, guotie. Those are 2 different types of Chinese dumplings.
Right.
Shuijiao, another different type of dumpling. Right? In Korea, mandu and all that stuff, those are all different types of dumplings. Like this would be classified for me as like a griddle cake. I would almost call these griddle cakes because we're cooking them on griddle or corn cakes.
I definitely see hot dog as close to a griddle cake as you can.
I think
get,
hot
but-
dog is a griddle cake. I think hot dog is a griddle cake.
And it's literally a cake that you cook on a griddle.
On a griddle, right, exactly. Yes, I think we can do this a little better. I think there's enough for maybe 1 more, maybe 2 more small ones.
You can, yeah, definitely for sure one.
Two more small ones.
Yeah.
That much.
That's a filled one, right? Yeah.
Yes.
You know, for the first time making these, it's pretty good. It came out pretty well, I would say.
As long as it tastes good.
Yeah, I think it. You know, the filling tastes good. The masa, I'm sure, will taste fine.
Yeah, I mean you're frying corn. How
Right,
bad,
how
how
bad
bad
could
could
it
it
be?
possibly be?
How bad can it be? The salsa tastes good. The slaw is delicious. Yo, what's up, Gandalf the Jedi? What's good?
Oh,
Hey,
yeah.
what's up,
I
Michelangelo?
haven't looked at chat in a while.
Gandalf the Jedi is our good friend Justin Padilla.
Oh.
Yeah.
Justin.
What's up, Justin? Hey, Michelangelo. What's up?
What's up, guys?
What up? We're making pupusas today, an El Salvadorian street snack. Because we can. We have all the ingredients here to make pupusas. Slight twist, we did throw in a little bit of fish sauce in some of the filling and the salsa. Because I like fish sauce. I think fish sauce and pork are a match made in heaven. Alright. Getting a little hot here. Come along.
Can I shove this all into this one?
No. I think it's one more.
Okay.
Alright.
Yeah. That's also a lot.
This?
I think.
Alright, use the rest of this lard. Whew. I need to turn the fan, guys. Is that too loud? Can you pick it up?
Oh, it definitely picks up, but I don't think it's like bad.
Okay. Put these pupusas in. My pan is getting a little too hot. We don't want this like smoking like this, so I just turned down the heat a little bit. You know, I think recipes oftentimes people forget that recipes are guidelines, and they don't follow them as guidelines. So they're like, oh my god, okay, medium heat for like this long, they keep it there, but use your knowledge, use your intuition, right? If the pan is smoking, know what you're looking for, right? Nice.
Small one.
A little cute one.
Oh yeah.
And then we have a little bit of masa left.
There's enough filling for one more.
Oh, nice. Okay, cool. Italian boys. Once that one is done, Martin, we'll clean up and try out some of these.
Absolutely.
Put some of the salsa up. Oh, you know I forgot to add into this?
Yeah, this is Sean's new place.
This is my new place, yeah. I forgot to add in cilantro into the salsa. But it's
Oh.
okay. I actually have some cilantro in the fridge that we'll use as like a topper,
Oh.
as a garnish.
So a big part of Sean moving here was to be able to do this.
Do this.
And Sean, you've been here for what? 3 weeks?
Month, maybe?
A month?
Yeah, something like that. Cilantro on top later.
It's a nice kitchen. Yep. Complimenting your kitchen.
Thank you. I had a vision, and now the vision is just about complete. Y'all should visit when you get a chance.
What else do you have in plan?
For stream, for the kitchen, for what? For the day.
For the kitchen.
For the kitchen, most of it's done. Most of it's already set up. I have to like organize a couple things from like what I don't want. Like I don't need this anymore, so I'm gonna give this back to my parents. I do need like a couple like little supplies. Box grater. What else do I need? I needed like. I do want a cleaver because I don't want a cleaver, so I do need a cleaver. Some about it. I'm gonna set up like a fermentation station over in the hallway too. So we're trying to make some our own
Kimchi
kimchis.
fridge.
It's a nice kitchen. My friend bought it. Oh, your friend bought a house? Nice. Nice, dude. A lot of people buy houses these days. Dude, that's perfect. This is like what traditionally will be paired with pupusas. It's a slaw made of cabbage and carrots with cumin, a little bit of serrano pepper too, and I use coconut vinegar in this.
Okay.
So this is the slaw now. It's been chilled for since we started stream, so maybe about like hour and a half. Maybe these should go. Technically, you should go at least 30 minutes, but 3 hours. But you know, we do what we can. Slaw. Watch the pan here. So if you're getting dark spots like this, that just means that that side of the pan didn't have enough oil, like this. It basically didn't have enough oil to fry everything in, and it's okay. Call them wine because.
Okay, all the filling is in use.
You can also use like any skillet for this. I just like my cast iron. All right. Some of these guys in here. And while those are cooking, we can try some. So let's clear out this table a bit. We can just show it on here.
We're going to put this. Right, here we go.
Alright. So, how do we eat these? I'll start with the bottom one since those are older. So I'm just gonna grab one, break it apart, give you all the cross section.
Ooh.
Pretty good. Give it a smell. I like smelling all my food because I'm a weirdo, but I'm gonna try it plain first. Then I'll try it with salsa. Then I'll try it with salsa and slaw.
It really just looks like a cookie. Like a stuffed cookie.
Good. And the salsa on this.
Still has some of that crunch.
I'll eat it with a touch of slaw too, just like this.
You get a little bit of stringiness from the cheese. These are quite good.
What?
These are good. What was in the salsa again? What was in the salsa?
Yeah, it was roasted poblanos, serrano peppers, tomatoes, 1 red onion, salt, rice vinegar, lime, lime juice, fish sauce, touch of fish sauce. No, I didn't put fish sauce in the.
Wait, you put in the salsa?
Not in the salsa.
It's just like in the pupusa filling.
In the pickle, it's in the pickled cabbage, and it's also I threw a little bit in the filling too.
Okay.
But very good. You can literally, oh, hey Martin, the camera.
Yep.
Sorry guys, stream went out. Yeah, Cam died. Thank you. I'll eat here. Hi y'all, what's up? What up with the camera? Did it run out of batteries?
Yeah, it's plugged in though.
Oh. There it is. It's back. We're back.
Yeah. I don't
We're
know
back,
if
y'all.
it's back. Oh, it is the battery that's dead.
Mm.
Oh, so it's charging slower than it.
Oh, that's
energy.
consuming.
That's unlucky. It is working right for now, though, right?
Yep, it's on.
It's gonna die again.
Nope,
yeah.
it died again. It
Sean-
died again.
Sean took too long to cook.
Sorry, y'all.
What?
Hi.
I mean, we could try to use a phone.
Well,
Yeah,
well, I mean, we're
spare
done with
batteries.
streaming with the pupusas at least.
We're
I
done.
do want to
cooking.
turn off.
Wait. We can. Yeah. I think we can have this.
Well, we transition the camera over. Oh, because then you have to switch on OBS, right?
Yeah.
Mm.
It's okay. I think we can basically wrap here.
Mm.
Yeah, I'll turn this back on. It'll last like 2 seconds.
2 seconds, right? That's fine. Until we're back on. Hey y'all. Alright, so unfortunately with camera issues, with battery issues, we do have to cut stream, but we finished our pupusas. They are delicious. Delicious.
Yes.
Delicious. First time making pupusas. If I can do it, you can do it.
Thanks so much for joining.
Thank you.
We have a lot of, we unveiled a lot of exciting things that are coming soon for MSG. If you
Yep.
missed any of those, we'll be making announcements about them on social media anyway.
Just check us out. My stream schedule is hopefully Thursdays and Sundays is the plan. So tune in anytime. Either one of those days, both days. Give us a follow so that we can get subscribers.
Oh, and the
And we're out. And we're out. Good night, y'all. Good night, y'all.
Thank
Take
you.
care. Love you. Call your grandma.